If you're staying at the Flamingo in Las Vegas, it's probably because you're trying not to break the bank. That's why I think it's crazy that its new steakhouse, Bugsy and Meyer, is one of the most expensive on the Strip. We're Kristin and Will, and we've spent the past few months reviewing all the best steakhouses in New York City. Over the next 6 days, we'll be trying 6 steakhouses here in Las Vegas to see how they compare. And today we're trying Bugsy and Meyer's to find out if it's worth the price.
I love the ambiance in here. It's so new and modern, but also feels like a step back in time. I love the Art Deco theming, the old music that they're playing, and also the touches of the flamingo theming throughout. So they have flamingos on the wall over there. I also love how the napkins are pink. It was named after founders of the Flamingo, mobsters Bugsy Siegel and Meyer Lansky. And they themed this whole place to be a step back in time during the Prohibition era to kind of give a nod to when mobsters ran Las Vegas.
Nowadays, the only crimes being committed here are these prices. We are going to go with the 20-ounce dry-aged bone-in ribeye for $91. We just had an 18-ounce boneless ribeye at SW, which is widely considered to be one of the best steakhouses in Las Vegas, for $95. And that's at the Wynn, which has hotel rooms for typically 10 times more than the Flamingo. We're staying here ourselves, and during our stay, we found rooms for as low as $7 per night. There is an inevitable $44.95 resort fee, but even with that, 4 nights at that price would cost about as much as our meal, and we're only ordering 1 entree and no drinks. We're also ordering the Cadillac starter, which comes with poached Maine lobster, shrimp, and king crab. And the waiter recommended we get the mushrooms and mac and cheese for our sides. One more interesting thing on the menu is that they have both wet-aged and dry-aged steaks. Wet aging is when a steak is sealed in their own juices so that they become more juicy and tender. Dry-aged steaks are the ones you typically see hanging up on display in many steakhouses in their aging rooms. They develop this layer of mold and brine as they age that really brings out the flavor of the steak.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. An alarm has been activated. We are investigating the cause. Please remain calm and stand by. Hear the speakers for further instructions.
We just got our Cadillac appetizer and it looks delicious. There is a jumbo shrimp, lobster, and king crab. I guess I'll start with this crab. Wow. That crab is so nice and sweet and soft. It's so flavorful, and I love the cracker it's on. It's a really nice compliment with the crab. All right, next let's try this poached lobster. Wow. Yeah, that's really good. The lobster with this sauce is incredible. It's creamy. I get touches of Dijon mustard and a little bit of paprika on top for some spice. All right, last let's try the shrimp. Wow, that is cooked perfectly. It's so nice and crisp. It's not mushy at all, and it's so chilled and cold. So delicious. These sides look incredible. This mac and cheese smells so good. It is so cheesy. Look at that cheese pull. Wow, the noodles are cooked so nice and al dente. It is so salty, so creamy, so smooth. The one thing I do think it's missing is like a little bit of breadcrumb on top. I think it could use a little bit of crunch, but the flavor is there. It is incredible. Now let's try these mushrooms. These look so fresh, and it looks like they're seasoned so well. Wow, they are so nice and oily, so flavorful. I taste some onion, fresh spices. This is gonna be a great compliment with the steak. Speaking of steak, I cannot wait any longer to try this. We got the bone-in dry-aged ribeye, and this thing is dry-aged for 60 days, which is a pretty long time, so I have a feeling it's gonna be packed with flavor. And it's so nice and tender. Let's take a look at the color. It seems nice and medium rare. Wow, I gotta be honest, this is so much better than I was expecting. It's so tender and so flavorful. And the char, I just got a perfect bite. It was like crispy, but yet so soft on the inside. I got some of that smokiness. I am very happy. I don't know why, but I was really not expecting this to be that good, and it's pretty good. There's like a little bit of fat on the outside too, which adds to the flavor. It's like already so flavorful on its own, but those little pieces of fat even give it more flavor. This is a really good steak.
Cutting through this, it feels nice and charred. And honestly, I'm not surprised because while we were waiting for our food, the chef actually overcooked something, I guess, in the kitchen and set the fire alarm off. So I hope this would be nice and charred. You can just hear it like breaking up as I cut into it. Wow, that has a ton of flavor. What I taste a lot of here is the dry aging process. You get a lot of that dry aging funk. I like the big salt flakes on top, and it is marbled so nicely. That's delicious.
Look at the presentation of this dessert. It looks delicious. There's a caramelized banana, and then there's a layer of banana cake, banana mousse, vanilla bean mousse, and these cherries on top are filled with a cherry mousse. There's a chocolate drizzle, a cookie, and this other big piece of chocolate down the middle. It just looks so beautiful to me, literally like a work of art. I also love how there's sprinkles on the rim as well. How fun is that? Let's give it a try because I have a feeling it's gonna be delicious. All right, I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit of every layer, some chocolate, and a little bit of this caramelized banana. Wow, that is delicious. The banana split flavor is spot on. It's not too banana-y, and I love the vanilla bean complement and a little bit of that chocolate, and the caramelized top of this banana adds such a nice sweet crunch. All right, now let's try this cherry that's not actually a cherry. Wow. The mousse flavor is not too overpowering, and the outside of the cherry is so unique. It's almost like Jell-O, and it adds this substance that you kind of chew on with the creamy mousse. This whole thing is just kind of refreshing, so creamy and smooth and just enjoyable to eat.
Let us know what you guys thought of it. Make sure to subscribe if you liked the video, and we'll see you in the next one.